So this is an Eachine E520 4K FPV drone. The little camera on the front. This is their basic model. They do an E520S, which also has GPS system in it, but this is the basic one. It costs all of £26 from Banggood, which seems very cheap. It just comes with one battery with this model. You can get them with more batteries, but they had this special offer with a single battery in stock in the UK for 26 quid, which I thought was quite a good bargain. I've had it open. So the usual instructions you get in multiple languages. 2 spare propellers, so a left and a right propeller. I have propeller guards, but won't bother fitting those. Then we have the controller transmitter unit. Takes 4 AAA batteries, not supplied, supply your own. These these little antennas are dummy, they don't do anything. Then we have the little folding quadcopter itself. The arms just fold out and lock. The on-off switch is on the top. You press it and it starts flashing, looking to pair up with the transmitter. Switch the transmitter on, then that's it paired now. Just raise and lower the left hand throttle, and the lights are now going solid. There's a 1 button take-off system. You just push that button and it rises about 5 feet in the air and hovers there. Then you have your sticks for forwards, backwards, left, right, rotate left, rotate right, up and down, and then there's an auto landing button as well. These are just trims to stabilise the flight, or stabilise the hover or whatever. There are 3 speed modes controlled by this button here. Then there's a function button there for 360-degree flips. This button you can take a picture with it, just pressing that button, and then this one you can sort of get a heads up mode or rotational round the axis mode type. There's also, I'll switch this off before I take off and fly through the roof. You can pull this out and clip your phone under there as well. Clips back in there. You just fit your phone underneath and use that for first person view with the camera. Also accesses various other functions direct from the app on your phone. So I have flown this. It was reasonably easy to fly. The only problem was the camera was focused at about 4 inches rather than towards infinity, which wasn't very good viewing landscapes with the camera. So I've fixed that. It involved taking the camera off. It isn't intended to come off and get adjusted like this, but obviously in the factory they managed to get the focusing wrong. This is the little lens in there. It just screws in and out, but it's glued in, or it's varnished in place to stop it moving, so I had to pick the varnish off. I don't think I've still got it perfect because I was looking at my image on my phone, which is pretty small. What I'll do is I'll refocus it and use my iPad, which has got a bigger screen, and I'll be able to make sure the focus is really crisp at a decent distance. It's a 4K camera. It seems to be reasonably good quality and definition, albeit at 4 inches. Good for photographing grass as you land on it, but not much good for anything else. There are a couple of lights on the front, and then you've got flashy blue lights and things underneath. It doesn't come with a memory card, but you just use a microSD 32GB card, just plug it in. That's your little antenna for the FPV module. Now, battery is in the back, just pulls out, and it charges up with a standard USB, micro USB lead. Just plugs in, and you plug that into a USB outlet. It does take a fair while to charge up. It'd be handier if it the version that came with multiple batteries, because that took about an hour to charge back up and gives you supposedly about 10 minutes of flight. 7.2 volt battery, 7.4 volt battery, 1200 milliamp hour. And that just slots in the back, clicks home, but I'll just unplug it at the moment. So to fix the camera, there are 4 screws need to come out, and the unit can slide forward, and then you can disconnect the cable, and then you can get in to remove the back of the camera housing and extract the camera on its ribbon cable. Better. Yeah, that's the right size. These are quite long screws, these ones. Some of the other ones just fall out. Right, it's a case of just pull it forward and outwards. Then we have a little connector for the power connectors in there. Just unclip that, put that to the side. Now we've got 2 more screws here to take out, and a 3rd screw there, and then we can lift this part away. This should now just apart. That's it. Take the top off. There's a ribbon cable in there. Try not to damage that. And there's 2 screws in the back which need to come out. Bing! That's the back off. Little camera sensors in the centre. It's fairly well shoved in, but if you just use the blunt end of a plastic screwdriver, you can push it out of the housing. And there's your little camera. And to adjust it, you just unscrew this lens. That's easier said than done, because they had some varnish holding it in, so you've got to pick the varnish off and possibly even try and dissolve it with a little isopropyl alcohol, and then it's a case of screwing it in and out to get the focus back. But to do that, you really need to connect it back up in the quadcopter. Which way does that go? That goes there. Just temporarily hold it in. So what I need to do is power this up and point it at something in the distance. Just saying, you can download the app to your iPhone or your iPad or an Android phone, but I'll need to get this thing powered up, locked up. Now I need to go and connect to the Wi-Fi. It should pop up. It should pop up. There it goes. And then that's the app. Enter the app, and here we have an image from the camera. Oops, of course the camera is waggling about underneath. A view outside. So I can see out the window. Go blurry there. Blurry, 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 sharper, sharper. Blurry again, so back a bit. That seems pretty sharp there. So what I'll do is just put a little dab of varnish back on there so it doesn't undo itself. In the meantime, we'll switch that off. Take the battery out again. Switch off the transmitter. And close the app. Tiny little bit. Right, I'll just let that varnish dry and then I can reassemble it. Right, again the back goes on with a little cutout towards the ribbon cable. In there. Right, that should be assembled.